So this is an open session to ask whatever you would like. We have a few topics if it gets to concept mapping from you that we can discuss, but this is your chance to, it can be music, anything. So, yep.
Can you guys tell us a little about your background, how you got started in conducting, how you got to where you are today?
Okay. I started my life as a musician, really singing. Like as a little kid, I loved singing, church choir, all of that. I started trumpet. I did not take to the trumpet easily, but all of a sudden, when I was about 8th, 9th grade, things started to work out pretty well. I became really serious about it, and my plan in going to Northwestern for my bachelor's degree was purely that I was going to become an orchestral trumpet player. I had no plan B, because that was what I was going to do. Well, my embouchure had another idea because it started to collapse. So I had to remake my embouchure, and in the process, with my really wonderful teacher, Vince Chickowitz, I became a much better built trumpet player, but I lost my nerve. When I was young, I would play anything, anywhere, for anybody, and then ask them if they'd like me to do it again. Basically, I was a trumpet player. But then once I lost my nerve, and I'd see at Northwestern every year, some freshman would come in and blow everybody out of the water. That effortless kind of playing, the person that was not an upstream player. And I thought, well, this is going to work for me. So I decided to get my degree in music education, which I did. Conducting seemed to come pretty easily to me. And I stayed and got my master's degree in conducting, and then I started doing jobs. I got a job at Alma College, about an hour north of here, and that was my first job that I got when I was 22, and then I started to figure some things out. But I came to conducting kind of through the back door. Really, I wanted to be a trumpet player, and I think that maybe the most, well, I've been blessed with a lot of wonderful influences, not the least of which, going to Northwestern, going to Eastman, and being in the environment of always being around really great musicians and great teachers is something that just works its way into your DNA, I think, and I'm grateful for that. But I think really the most important teacher for me was not a conducting teacher, but was my trumpet teacher. And from Mr. Chickowitz, and just being in that environment with that sort of approach to sound, or wind and song, if I can quote Arnold Jacobs, I learned sort of an approach to breath, an approach to phrasing, an approach to sound production that led me to a way of movement to try to create the same thing for the people that I would conduct. So, and then I had a bunch of jobs, and now I'm at Northwestern, so that's it. I'm bored by myself. Okay, Auntie, let's be bored by you.
My path is different. I grew up with it. My father's a band director, and so a little kid following, dad around for many, many different things musically. But I was always included in everything, and I thought I was going to be the goal was to be the greatest Texas high school band director, because that's what you do when you're in Texas. I had really strong influence from a person who was a friend of my dad's, Richard Floyd, who I had no idea I was going to be going to Baylor until I happened to hear them. They came to the high school I was attending. They came on tour. And I was just, that's the place I was going to go. And it was largely his influence and music making that made me attend there. I mean, it was a great place to be. He left after my freshman year, and Mike Haycock took over at a very young age to be a director of bands at an institution like that. And Mike, for whatever reason, probably because he was young, he included me in a lot of being able to watch the process of how he was going to grow as the director of bands there. And it was, that was so striking to me to watch somebody do that. And really kind of a situation that maybe was not going to foster that, but he turned it into a situation that really did enable him to do the things that he did. It was very meaningful to me, and I really believe that it started me down the track. I still was thinking that I was going to be a high school band director. I did BME at Baylor. I was a trumpet player as well, but also not the performance kind of trumpet player. I enjoyed playing, and I was okay, but not to be a serious player professionally. So I went and taught public school for 4 years at the junior high level and learned an unbelievable amount of what I did not know. You know, you come out of undergraduate school and you've got, oh yeah, I got it, it's no big deal. And you learn real quick after that first 6 weeks with the clarinet class that you should have gone to all those classes. That might have been helpful. So anyway, got married, moved to Austin, had another 2 years of teaching. This time happened to be reconnected with the Floyd family. I was Dick Floyd's wife, Cheryl. I was her assistant. So I reconnected there, and after 2 years, I started at University of Texas, just about when Jerry Junkin started at UT. Went through the master's program. Again, still not knowing that I was going to teach college. But at the end of the 2 years, I was kind of encouraged to, you ought to throw your name out for some jobs. You ought to do that. I completed the degree in a year and a half, so I'd already had some work on the doctorate in the second semester of the second year. So I did, and got the gig. And again, it's all about who you're connected with and who your influences are. And so I connected with John Whitwell at that point at Stephen F. Austin. And then somehow it all kind of comes back to here, just like it did for you and your, Mr. Painter and all of that. And so I got the gig, and here we go. And then job, and then job. So haven't regretted anything though. It's all been terrific. Not easy by any means, but extremely rewarding.